All right, guys, welcome to this episode of Vertcoin Talk. I want to make sure that you can hear me out there. Currently, we have 48 people watching the show, so I want to welcome you all here today. So a little bit different of a production setup, so you can see a little bit. I'm doing some encoding here. You're actually going to see me. I am currently mining using JK's one-click miner that has the submarine swaps built into it. So if you guys don't know, I'm Kanan. I want to thank you for coming to this Vertcoin Talk today. This is Vertcoin Talk episode 25. So we're going to talk about fork results. We're going to talk about some submarine swaps. We're going to talk about all kinds of fun and interesting stuff here. So let's get right into it. So let me switch on over here. So we're going to go and we're going to my other screen here where you can see currently I am running the one-click miner. Also have my full node up. So today I'm going to go through a few different things. So we're going to review the fork. We're also going to talk about some Vertcoin medallions that Grindlord has coming in that you guys, if you are interested, will be able to purchase and help raise some funds for perhaps some exchange listings and things of that nature. So also something else to take note of, I am going to be basically giving the link out to this one-click miner. So this is not this is really, we're testing here. We are, really do not play with this unless you can lose the funds. You're not really going to lose the funds because if you follow the steps step by step, everything's going to be okay. So you can see here on my core, this is, you can see where I was doing some Verthash mining. Normally when I'm mining, I'm using the actual Verthash miner, and then I got core open as my wallet because I like to be a full node. But I have the one-click miner, which uses a different type of wallet. It's not a core wallet, but it's one where you don't have to have a core wallet running. It's all built inside of the software. We try and make it as easy as possible. So in the chat here, I am going to give you guys a link. Now, I want to give this to you now. So, and actually, I'm logged in under my personal YouTube. Hold on, let me switch accounts real quick. I just want to make sure that you guys see this, and it's not just some regular other person. So, let me switch over to the Vertcoin one on this. All right, so you will see a GitHub link. I just put it in the chat. It is to the one-click miner. Oh, so it looks like, did JK already load that? Let's see, added to YouTube chat already. All right, cool. So you can see, so if you go there, if you have one-click miner already installed on your machine, this is essentially, you don't have to redo your Verthash file, none of that. Your wallet, same whole thing. So you just download this. Now, one of the differences here, and you'll see that, so I'm going to be double checking on this monitor right over here because this is the one I'm actually encoding on. I'm not encoding on my other machine here, but you can see when I go to click send coins, I get a nice little circle right here. So this is into the amount of Satoshis that you want to use for your swap. All right, so we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. But want to thank everybody for joining. Wanted to get that out in the chat. So if you guys want to participate, then you need a few things. So in the description below, you're going to see a link to the Phoenix wallet. Now, the Phoenix wallet is a very user-friendly Lightning wallet. So we are doing this on the Lightning network. So I know a lot of people, they asked, is Vertcoin still doing stuff with Lightning? What about Lit, stuff of that nature? Yes, we're still doing things. Lit was a project with the MIT DCI, the Digital Currency Initiative, that got abandoned. So we're still working on other Lightning stuff. But this right here is going to be pretty cool. So what I'm going to do, let me pull this up here real quick. So I'm going to go to this background. Let me swap over here. All right. So this is my current cell phone. So if I pull this up right here, and you can actually see it blown up here on this monitor back here, this is the wallet, the Phoenix wallet. So right here, you can see this is a test that I did last night. I put a post out on Twitter about it. I talked about it inside the Discord. Really, if you guys are not in the Discord, you really are missing out. If you're trying to keep up with the latest, if you want to have input, you want to talk with the devs, get in our Discord, because I do my best to share everything out on social media. But the reality of this is I don't do this full time. So I don't get paid to do this. So anybody who knows me in this community knows I have like 7 different jobs. I run company. I got a lot of stuff going on. So I try to do my best in order to facilitate, all this information, but really get in the Discord, get involved with the community and stuff of that nature. But so we're going to look at this here in a little bit. Let me go ahead and take that back off. Let's go back over here. All right. So that's what we're going to be doing towards the end of this broadcast. So, yes, I'm going to make you all stay through all of this in order to see the juicy, fun stuff here at the end. But that is the art of broadcasting. So, right now, I am mining. I'm doing 871 kilohash right now on my 2080 Ti while I'm doing this broadcast. This is the one-click miner currently running right now, but I want to touch on what we are currently going through in our fork. You can see here on the vertcoin.org website, the VertHash fork is complete. So, and you guys probably saw in the last few bits of streams that I did, we finished that up in January. So to participate in that, you would want to go and get our 0.17.1 Vertcoin Core wallet. Then you can become a full node. So this is what the wallet looks like right here. If you ever want to know if you are a full node, simply all you have to do is pull up your network traffic. And if you see received and sent, so you can see I have received and sent the different peers that I have here, all these different peers that are connected to me. You have to do some port forwarding on your router. So if you want any information on kind of what needs to happen with that, please swing into our Discord. You can go into the mining section, the mining help sections, and they can help you get that set up. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward, and you just have it run. And basically what it is, it's a seeder node that allows other people to download the blockchain from you. And if you do the vertification inside of our Discord, then you get a nice little cool little tag, and you get access to things like the Super Elite VIP Club. So you can see that as a normal person, but you can't participate in there. So that is a benefit to having the moniker "I run a full node" inside of our Discord. Go ahead and pick that up. Wanted to touch on here some real quick. So this is the last 6 months. As far as Vertcoin transactions, you can see here that we had very little activity in transactions, and as soon as we hit that fork, transactions started spiking up. So we're steadily, we get spikes here and there, but massive amounts of more transactions than there was prior to the fork. Same goes here for the difficulty. Look at the difficulty that was going on inside of our network. As soon as that fork hit, the difficulty went way down. And so that's because of the new algorithm. It's also because a lot of the FPGAs, or if there was ASICs developed for the network, they are no longer working on VertHash. Also, NiceHash does not have VertHash on their system, so no one can rent hash power through that system in order to mine Vertcoin, which is good from a security perspective. But this is also intriguing from a mining perspective for profitability and such of that nature. But here you can see we peaked out at 25 terahash. This was in November of last year, and we are all the way back down to 2.8 gigahash. That also has to do with the hash rate. You can see that I'm running at kilohashes right now with my 2080 Ti, whereas on the previous algorithm, it was more in the mega hash level, much more in the mega hash level, because the algorithm is completely different. Take that into consideration there. This is the mining profitability chart. We don't normally like to talk about price and things of that nature inside of the Vertcoin Talk sphere, but here we're going to talk about the actual mining profitability. So this, you can see at the fork, it actually jumped up. And this, we're starting to average out just a little bit more here, but, as difficulty goes up and things of that nature. So it's definitely much more profitable to mine on the Vertcoin network than it was prior to the fork. It helped contribute to the decentralization of the mining and being able to participate in validating transactions on the Vertcoin network. And as I showed before, transactions are definitely up. So active addresses, you can see that right as we forked, we had a bunch of new active addresses. So that was all the active addresses switching over to the new wallet and such. But you can see the activity has just gone up, more and more active addresses there as we've gone on through the fork. So the fork, and I'll touch on that here in just a second. Overall, the fork was successful. This, I kind of sound like a broken record because this isn't the first time we've done this. It's probably not going to be the last time we've done it. This really is pretty much, I wouldn't say we're becoming experts at this, but we're definitely very seasoned. We know what needs to get done in order to fork a cryptocurrency into a new chain. Our forks are always hard forks. There's not soft forks where you have the ability to go back. So being a hard fork, you really have to have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed to make sure that everything's going to work. Because if stuff doesn't work, there's no going back. Want to thank everybody who supported the fork and things of that nature. And guys, the chat that you guys have going on right now inside of YouTube, I will address that. We're going to do Q&A here when we can get a little bit closer towards the end. But right now, I'd ask all of you guys to hit that like button and share this with your friends. If they're interested in getting into cryptocurrency, if they want to dabble in the idea of mining in the past has been extremely not user-friendly. It's been very hard. You almost need a degree in computer science to do all the codes and command line prompts and stuff of that nature. It takes some effort. With this one-click miner, it's insanely easy. It's literally you put a password in order to make sure that there's a password associated with your wallet. You click a button, and you're off to the races. Now, you have the ability to even, when this becomes released here before long, right now, remember, this is beta, but the submarine swaps, being able to swap Vertcoin directly over for BTC inside of the one-click miner makes it even more appealing for people to come into the sphere and to do a little bit of mining as they learn the space. So just wanted to let everybody know about the fork. That's done. We are off and running on VertHash. The other item I wanted to talk about was the Vertcoin medallion. So I had talked about this a little bit in the Discord, but Discord member Grindlord, you see him right here inside of the chat. He has ordered, this is a physical Vertcoin medallion that has been minted. They're still coming in, but he's actually going to be sending me some that I can give away to viewers and stuff of that nature. So if you'd like to get your hands on one of these, he is going to be selling these so he can cover his costs, but then all the profits and proceeds from that he's going to be donating to funds in order to help us get software, also to get us listed on some exchanges and stuff of that nature, because as much as we like to tell exchanges, look, we don't have a war chest of funds just sitting around and we didn't have an ICO or a pre-mine, they still demand a lot of money in order for us to get on exchanges and stuff of that nature. So if you'd like to get your hands on one of these, then that will be coming soon. I'll do some social media posts about it once they become available. I do have this epoxy wood one, but I would definitely like to get my hands on one of those metal ones because that definitely looks much better than the one I have there. So check out our social media or swing into the Discord. You'll be able to get your first notice on that. The other item we wanted to talk about was, I'm sure most of you guys saw this tweet that we sent out on February 1st. It's been over 2 months. We filled out the Binance application and we have still yet to hear from Binance. So we're waiting to hear from them. It's not that I haven't been actively, hey, look at me inside of the Twitterverse and things of that nature. They just have not responded. So one of the other topics I wanted to talk about today was how you guys can help us get on exchanges. So one of the big things that exchanges really just they respond to is demand from the audience. So they're people that use their platform and stuff of that nature. So it doesn't have to be Binance. It could be any exchange that we're not currently on. Let them know about us. Let them know how long we've been around. If you need any information about that, I know we've done a bunch of talks in the past, but a brief synopsis is we've been around since 2014. GPU focused cryptocurrency. We are a pure cryptocurrency. We don't do smart contracts. We don't do staking. It is literally as core as you can get to Bitcoin, but we are dedicated to GPU mining, and we don't let ASICs take over the network because we want any and every person to be able to mine. Also, we're developing things like the one-click miner that makes it that much easier for people to mine. So if you need any information or if you need any help on how to fill out exchange listings, or if you get in touch with a support person and you just want to, get the Vertcoin name in front of them, you can always let them know they can email us at all@vertcoin.org. That will go to everybody, so everybody on the development team will get that email if you need an official email, or just come into our Discord and let us know. We do our best in order to try and fill out these applications and things of that nature, but it's been quite amazing how much effort we've went into trying to get on exchanges, and literally we hear nothing back. It's frustrating, a little bit disheartening as well. And then we'll also have exchanges that will come to us and be like, yeah, if you want to get on, it's going to be 1 BTC or like $60,000. And this is one of the downsides with the way that our project was developed is we don't have a pre-mine. So if you guys don't know what a pre-mine is, when a cryptocurrency comes into being, so when that first block is mined, some projects will set aside. So if they're right now with Vertcoin, there's 84 million Vertcoin is it 84 million or 84 billion? I think it's 84 million. Yeah, 84 million because Bitcoin's 21 million. 84 million Vertcoin will ever be produced. So if we had a pre-mine, we could have taken 1 million of that 84 million and set it to the side at the very beginning as a war chest or like funds that the development team could use in order to pay exchanges or to pay software developers or to pay marketing people or YouTubers in order to run videos about us and stuff of that nature. We could have had that funds there, but we didn't do that. We wanted Vertcoin to be a fair mined cryptocurrency, meaning that nobody had an advantage whenever Vertcoin was birthed on the scene in 2014. So there's no pre-mine. There's no ICO. So 2017, 2018 was like the big ICO craze. Everybody and their mother was doing an initial coin offering. So if you don't know what an ICO is, that is when a coin goes to an exchange and they have a bunch of coins that they're willing to offer going to an exchange is an initial exchange offering. ICO is when you do like a private fundraising. So you give the project $100,000 and they give you X number of coins with the promise that it's going to get more valuable as you go down the road. We didn't do that because we don't want to get a boot upside the head from the SEC. Also, we're about fair mining. So we want everybody to have equal access to being able to mine and gain access to the currency in and of itself. No airdrops. That's another thing that you'll hear from us. So we don't do airdrops. We don't give away coins. We don't just magically generate coins out of nowhere. So the fixed supply is the fixed supply, and we've stuck with that since 2014. I would say there's very, very few projects out there that have had a mission statement from the get-go and stuck, and they stuck to that vision. So no, Vertcoin's not a socialism coin. It's definitely more of a libertarian style coin because it's you don't need to validate things, and we're not handing stuff out. You have to earn it by mining. But yeah, it's if you can, we would love your help in being able to garner attention for these exchanges. We know that when we talk to Binance or if we talk to these larger exchanges, if they ask for a fee, it's probably going to be substantial. It's probably going to be beyond what anybody on the development team can afford. We don't have a war chest of that. Most of the funds that we had collected in the past through the dev pool and stuff of that nature, those were spent in the development of the miner that's currently being used for VertHash. So there's nobody on the team that knows how to build a GPU miner, so we have to outsource that to a developer, Cryptographics. He built the miner for Layer 2 Rev 3, so he's been great to work with, but that kind of depleted a lot of our funds, and if you notice on our website, we don't have a donate page anymore. We got some heat from the IRS when we were trying to get nonprofit status for that, so we took that away. Now we've gone to a merit-based kind of like a bounty system. So if we want to do something, so for example, the new one-click miner, Yurtjap, who was the main developer on that, who still is the main developer on that, he said it would take him X number of hours in order to build the application. So he actually does blockchain style development for a living. So we just paid his hourly rate, and we put that up as an option, and then the community raised funds for it, and then we moved forward with the one-click miner. Now we got a pretty cool tool out of that, but that's how we're doing raising of funds in the future, because we want you to, if you're donating to something, instead of donating directly to a pool, you don't know where those funds, the funds are there because all of our addresses were public, so you got to see that. And when we spent anything, then it would be talked about, and we would go into detail about all of that. But now, if you want to donate specifically to the one-click miner development, you can do so. So yeah, did want to announce. I'm sure most of you guys have seen this, but Dex Trade. So this was an exchange that listed us back in the middle of March. So dex-trade.com. So with all exchange listings, we always say use at your own risk, do your own research, because it's not our platform, it's not our software. So we don't know, what's going on there. We, try to do our best, and we have the community also validate, make sure everything looks right. There's nothing blaringly wrong with it before we go into that. But we had a community member who stepped up and paid for the listing for this. Really thankful for that. His name, let me shout him out here, because I don't believe he didn't want me to say it, but it's RC_12. So he really wanted to get us on that exchange, so he paid for the listing. So wanted to thank him for that. But you can see we have a BTC and a USDT pairing on there. So if you guys like, go over there, check that out, and you can do some trading of Vertcoin over there. So also wanted to touch on real quick. Verton, who you'll know him, he's on the mod team inside of our Discord. He forked our one-click miner. So this is the beauty also of open source technology, is you can read all of our code. You know what's there. You know if it's if there's something wrong or anything of that nature. But Verton, he forked the one-click miner and turned it into a Dogecoin miner. So it's an open source one-click miner, and Dogecoin wallet receive payouts in Dogecoin. So that's pretty cool, being able to utilize that same type of a product, but for Dogecoin. So if you guys are interested, you can play around with that. I'll put the link to his version of the one-click miner right there, so you guys can download that if you're interested in mining a little bit of Dogecoin using the one-click miner. You can do that there. Now, so the other thing that we want to talk about is the maximizing of your ability on GPUs. So one of the YouTubers that I follow, his name is Red Panda Mining. So there's a few YouTubers that I follow in the crypto space, but he was doing a stream where he was basically testing Ethereum, all these other cryptocurrencies and stuff of that nature on new 30 series NVIDIA cards. Well, he got to Vertcoin, and he was doing a thing where you would maximize or keep lowering your power and figure out, what is your best setting. So I wanted to show this to you guys here. So you can see here, let me know if that's too small. I might be able to make it a little bit bigger. But these are the settings that I'm currently running on my 2080 Ti. It's a single card. So I'm at 54 power limit. So right now, I'm pulling roughly, I think the debug, the last I looked at, it's about 140 watts. And I'm getting, when I don't have my monitors open and all this stuff going while we're doing this production here, I'm normally around 913, 920 kilohash a second. And that's at 140 watts. So it's extremely energy efficient. So wanted to just showcase this real quick. Don't think that you have to go, crazy with your power setup and stuff. So if I were to load this and I go to 125 power setting, overclock my GPU, and I bring down the memory just a little bit, you'll see that my power, it's still only using 78%, and I'm not gaining anything. So there is a optimal way to do your overclocking, or in this case, underclocking of the GPU and overclocking of the memory, in order to reduce the total power consumption of your GPU and also get the most hash rate out of your GPU as well. So I wanted to showcase that. And the other thing that I wanted to do real quick before we get into the submarine swaps, full nodes, and all other good stuff is I wanted to highlight our mining rig channel. So let me see if I can bring this over. So let's go. Here we go. So you guys should see this right here. All right, so, and actually, let me move myself. Bear with me 1 second. Doot. There we go. All right, so this is a channel that we created inside of our Discord just to highlight the different mining rigs of the community. Got this inspiration. Eric created the channel, but I got the inspiration of kind of showcasing this on a stream from Red Panda Mining. He does it with his community as well. So you can see here different mining rig setups. So here we got a 30 series card, but these are, and a cat apparently. But these are different mining rigs that are currently set up by the community. You can see nice little setup that we got here, all GPU mining. So, you know, this is more advanced than what I'm doing right now. I literally have one GPU sitting in my desktop, whereas these are the multi-rig setups here. So this is from Executed One. He's one of our moderators. Nice little riser setup with some Sapphire cards. Look like an AMD setup. BDF, if you guys are ever in the mining help channel, he's probably the one helping you. Very active in helping miners get set up with their systems so that they can start mining Vertcoin. But I mean, check this out. So these are some Radeon 7s right here. You know, awesome little setup. Invalid user here. More Radeon. So Radeon seems to be pretty popular, although I know the Radeon 7 is a pretty big powerhouse when it comes to this. But everything down to desktop towers. We have some other MSI cards here. So you can see just different setups. So one thing that I would do, I don't think this is real, but because this is a horrible Photoshop job that we have there. But we have this here where you can actually come in and just, you know, kind of, so this is kind of how I have mine set up. I don't have nearly the RGB setup, but I mean, it's just a single graphics card and I'm doing mining. Here I use my computer for encoding, but also video and rendering and things of that nature. So having a multi-card setup, I also have a 3-year-old. So having a bunch of cards laying around just screaming and being able to be handled by a 3-year-old, you know, if they're eye level inside of a rig setup, not advisable. So something like this, I could see her coming in wanting to try and put her finger in the fan or something of that nature. So, but yeah, tons of cool little rigs that we got here. So this is a dual GPU setup, where you can see and really it sucks because I used to have two 1070s and I, you know, had them bridged and everything, and then really SLI kind of went out the window. So it almost doesn't make sense unless you're mining like this in order to have 2 GPUs in a single rack like that. But at a certain point, it's like, why don't you just go ahead and do risers? You can hang them up so you're not dealing with, so you can do more of something like this and have something a little bit more compact. Here's Verton's setup right here. So you guys have to tell me, the hanging of the GPUs, is that better or would be having an actual riser like this? You know, they're actually just sitting there. I don't know what is more economic. Like, we got to work on cable management right here. So Invalid, we got to work on some cable management. But yeah, I mean, it seems like people got some different setups, and you know, I hope you guys really like this. Get in here, post your rig. I'd love to see what you got in here. I don't know. That looks like a server rack. I doubt they're doing some GPU mining on that. But yeah, I just wanted to showcase that here. Let me drag this back over here real quick. I'll show some more of that as we do more streams here in the future. But let's get right to the submarine swap. So you guys are going to watch me do this real time. So the thing that you need here, let's go. Oh, let me show this. So this is some examples that JK is working on for how we can, so the UI setup for the submarine swap. So you can see here, it's not in English, but this is the idea is that you have the capability to be able to swap between different setups. But let's go right to the README here. So if you guys had a chance to download the one-click miner from JK's GitHub, we're going to fire up my Phoenix wallet here. So we're going to load that up here. Let me pull that up. So we're going to go over. Let's figure out. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and take my camera off. So here you guys can see my cell phone. So you'll be able to see me actually do this real time. And you guys can participate as well. You need roughly about 10 Vertcoin in order to be able to do this. So remember, this is in development phase. So, it's not a final release. But you can read through this on your own if you like, but basically you download it, you need the Lightning wallet, and then, it's roughly about 10 VTC in order to do 10,000 Satoshis. And one of the reasons why you need 10,000 Satoshis is there is 1,000 Satoshi fee in order to set up an instant channel. So if you're if you see the spinning Vertcoin and Bitcoin logo in the send tab, just type in 10,000. So I'll need to, where is my, so receiver address, type in 10,000, and then so we'll need to take the QR code. So I'm going to go down, let me see here. So I'm going to scan my QR code. See, is it going to find the QR? There we go. So that is my, let's see. So we're going to copy that. Let's go back into our Phoenix wallet. So then, once I do that, you're going to do the, let's see. I got to click receive. And then, oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, I didn't need to take that with my phone. So this is live. I'm not pre-recording this at all. So I click the LN URL link, and then I come up and I get that QR code, reading the scan. So you'll see right there that I have my swap contract. You can see it's about $5.64 USD. So once I scan that, I got to click redeem. So you'll see that submarine, one click, you will send the funds. Could take some time. So once you do that, you go back into your one-click miner wallet. So let me pull this over here. And you're going to click send. So you have to put in your wallet password so your coins are sent. So I sent 10,000 Satoshis. And we're going to keep the app online. So that's one of the things with the Lightning Network. You do have to be online the whole time. But roughly, you'll see this actually happen. You got to wait several seconds. In the response, you'll see check your submarine swap transaction. So you can actually click here to view the transaction. So if I bring that up here, let me paste that in here. So this is actually the transaction right here. So then I can come back. Where's my submarine? Here we go. So we can go and we'll wait for those to come through. Let's see here. So you should see a new payment in the feature inside of the Lightning Network. Is the contract will expire, and 6 hours later you should see the funds automatically get sent back to your native wallet if for some reason you mess up. So waiting for this to come across here. Let me make sure you guys can still see my phone. And you guys can read this here. Let's see. Takes a little bit of time. We'll see that come through here in just a second. So bear with me 1 second here. This is that transaction. Let's refresh that. So not confirmed yet. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not seeing it on the phone. So it does, the block time for Vertcoin is 2.5 minutes. So we'll see that here in just a second. This definitely went much, well, not much faster. It took place pretty quickly last night whenever I was running the test. on this, so bear with me one sec here. So basically we're converting, using the Lightning Network, we're converting Vertcoin over to Bitcoin. So we're doing that all inside of the one-click miner. So you can see coins are sent. Go back to the wallet. You can see that now I have 0 Vertcoin. So I've spent all of the coins. I'm wondering if I must have spent or sent all of the available balance. So once this is confirmed, and JK is pinging me right now, I'll use that README. I'm sorry, hold on. Copy link. Let me go back to that README. Here we go. So this is a little bit different of a README. Apparently I was using the wrong one. So you can see it's got a full how-to on how to do the submarine swap. So as soon as we see this confirm, let's see. Still not confirmed yet. Let's see once this comes through. All right. So we'll see. So yeah, the thing that where I was talking about before, you use the 10,000, you're going to get another 9,000. So you can see the 9,000 Satoshis from when I got 21 hours ago. So what it does is it takes that 1,000 Satoshis and that's the fee used to create an on-the-fly channel creation. So I'll put this README here in the chat so that if you guys want to read that in there, you can. So once this finishes confirming, then we will see it populate here inside of our Lightning wallet. So this is the downside to doing it live, is it takes a second for that to click through. So this contract is actually taking place on the Lightning Network, which is, it's not running through the Vertcoin blockchain. It's on the Lightning Network, which is it's a different layer solution. So let me get this in here. Still not confirmed. Well, if it doesn't work, then we will have, let me see, JK in here. Yeah, everybody turned off the rig, so there wouldn't be any transactions happening. Let's see. All right, come on. Let's get confirmed. Why isn't this confirmed yet? Let's see. It definitely sent it from the one-click miner. There we go. Received just now. So you guys can see, just took a second. So now that it still says it's not confirmed yet, but you can see just received. We just got our Satoshis. Now I got 10,000 Satoshis total because last night I created that on-the-fly Lightning contract. So there you go. Just took a second for that to come through. I must have hit just right to where. So there you can see I have 10,000 Satoshis that I was able to submarine swap directly out of the Vertcoin one-click miner over to a Lightning wallet. So this is one of the things that you do need to take into consideration. Is currently we don't have a back way, so you can't take the Satoshis in Lightning and then send it back over to the one-click miner. So it is a one-directional submarine swap to go from Vertcoin directly over to Bitcoin. Now, from here, you can send this to any Bitcoin wallet that you like. But yeah, I'm gonna have to, JK, we're gonna have to work on getting these timings a little bit better, because God knows I was sweating. I thought for some reason I broke something. But guys, I'm not. So JK is the developer of this. I ran some testing last night just using the README. So I'm not superly technical when it comes to the actual coding. I understand all of the concepts and everything surrounding blockchain and everything that's happening here, but I'm not a coder. But I did know that it took, roughly about 2.5 minutes. So you can see here, after a single confirmation, average 2.5 minutes, you should see the new payment in your Lightning wallet. But I did freak out a little bit, wondering if maybe if I broke something, which, nobody wants to break anything, obviously. But let me, let's see here. Let me get me back on the screen. So I'm going to take my phone off there real quick. All right, guys, I'm back on here. So you can see, that is a submarine swap happening real time on the Lightning Network. Real time, because it took 2.5 minutes. It definitely waited and made me sweat because I thought I screwed up live on stream. We don't like to do that. But yeah, you can see there, these are the transactions where I sent over the Vertcoin to my one-click miner. If you ever wanted to know how you could send Vertcoin from, say, an exchange or from the core wallet over into the one-click miner, so right here there is a link where you can copy the address associated with this, and essentially you just go send, and then you put in your address right here, and then you can send Vertcoin over to the one-click miner wallet. So that's, if you want to play with this, that's the way I would go about doing it. Yeah, I was looking at the block timer, just bad luck. Insight was a little laggy, and it just took a little while to grab that block. So there you can see, included in this block right here, that figures. It would take, I would do the transaction on a really long block time. But yeah, you guys, I want you to play with this. I want you to get in there, see, it's super easy. If it takes a second for that transaction to go through because you get a weird odd block time or something like that. By the way, somebody else just made another 10K swap successfully. If you did it, put your name here in the chat. I'd love to know, how you guys are doing playing around with this particular tool. But this is a early release beta. We kind of showcased this live in our last talk when I had JK on. Now we're giving it to you for you guys to play with. Remember, this, yeah, it worked for me. It's worked for me now in 2 different transactions. It's worked for JK in a bunch of transactions as well. But this is a development. This is an early beta, I would say. It's not an alpha, but we are in beta phase. So please, if you want to play with this, use coins that you are not scared of losing. That's why we said 10 Vertcoin. While 10 Vertcoin is, that's like $6 million, with current value today. But I'm just kidding. You want to use, about 10 Vertcoin is what you can use in order to play around and stuff of that nature. So, okay. Let me get to some of your questions here real quick. Let me go back through the chat. I'm going to dig up through all these. Actually, if you guys can, any questions you guys asked through this, I'm going to go back and try and look. But if you want to ask them right now, go ahead and put them in the chat. And then we'll start doing some questions here. Let's see. So I've been using it for the last few weeks. Quite nice. Yep. That's something else too, guys. If you're in our Discord, you're heavily involved in the community, and you guys want to be some guinea pigs, I'm not advocating for you guys to be guinea pigs, but if you like to get early access and play with stuff that we're kind of working on, then please come into the Discord and you'll be able to participate in some of these things, because we're constantly innovating and trying to make Vertcoin and cryptocurrencies, mining, the entire ecosystem even better and better than it was yesterday or the last year. So can't say that for everybody inside of the crypto sphere, but we're trying to do our own little part the best that we can. So let's see. Sometimes it takes a lot longer than 2.5 minutes, just FYI, just the nature of average block times. Yes, Eric. So that is entirely true. I got crapped on, I guess, by the blockchain today. in my live presentation of the Lightning Network swaps. So yeah, we just didn't have some good luck. So yeah, and so it took only 30 seconds for you. Yeah, it's the luck of the draw. Of course, they just knew that I was broadcasting live. So, and it's 2.5 minutes on average. So if you make that, so let's say if it's a 2.5 minute block time, if you make that transaction 2 minutes into that block before the next one's found, then it's going to happen pretty quick because you're right there at the tail end. So, iPhone users. So I know it is on Android. It can be found. So Phoenix Miner can be found on iOS, but you can't download it from the Apple Store. So if you want to play with that, come into our Discord. I think. Let me see. I don't know if this link here. So if you go to the Phoenix wallet, the reason why we're using Phoenix wallet is it's got a really simple UI, easy to kind of navigate in if you've never been in the Lightning wallets and stuff of that nature before. They're not affiliated with us. Wow. They're not affiliated with us. We're not, getting paid to hawk their software. We don't get paid to hawk any software. But here you can see all of the fees that are associated with it. So the on-the-fly channel creation, that's like the first time that you do that. Now that I had the channel created, I'm able to send those full 10,000 Satoshis, no problem. So you saw that on there. But get in there, test that out. Let me know what you think. It'd be good to hear some community feedback on that. Phoenix Wallet is on the Google Play Store, so I was able to download it from the Google Play Store. Just don't know about the iPhone. That's not my realm of expertise. So let me go up through here. Let me go back and see if I can find some different messages. Let's see here. Red Wonder. Real Dollar tells me Vertcoin is 300% since January. Yeah, I mean, the market's going to do what it's going to do at the end of the day, and I'm sure you guys, anybody that's been around for a while has heard me say it. We as a project, we don't comment on price. We have no way to affect price. We have no way to do any of that stuff, so we focus on the actual technology. So being able to make it easy to mine, easy to get access to, anytime that we have the ability to kind of help broaden adoption, we'll do that as well. But really, I mean, we are a community-based coin. So all of the developers are volunteers. Nobody's paid. And the community kind of helps guide us in what they would like to see. So like the Vertcoin, the new one-click miner, because we had a different one-click miner before, but this one is truly one click. Like literally, you don't even have to have a wallet installed. It does it all. It downloads the miner for you, all of that stuff. The biggest issue that you're going to run into is the antivirus side of things, because anytime you download a mining software, antivirus is going to flag it. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But really, it's it's so good. And you guys can select between the different pools, and you guys can see the different fees. Now, one thing to take note of, I will point out, because I've worked with Steve at Hash a lot, so his 2% fee, you might be like, why is that in there? It's 2%. That's 1% more than Supernova. A percentage of that fee he is collecting for whenever we do any sort of development, exchange listings and stuff of that nature, to be able to use those funds to give back to the development team. So that is one of his initiatives. But you can see the other different pools that you can select from there. So you have a lot of different mining pools. You can turn on the debugger. This will allow you to see the output. So right now, when we're able to see like our average hash rate, we're able to see my spendable balance. Why does this go up by 5? Did somebody send me Vertcoin? Weird. Unless I just got a big dump from Supernova. I can't remember. Does Supernova, do they do every 24 hours? They do a big dump of what you've mined? I can't recall. But you can go on to testnet mode. So if you want to do some mining on the testnet, this will allow you to do some testing and things of that nature. Auto start. This allows you to get this started whenever you start your computer. Funny story that kind of happened. Saw it on. It was on Reddit. Somebody was playing with the one-click miner, forgot that it was mining with VertHash, and let it run for like 30 days. And they completely forgot they were doing, work, they were playing video games, all of that stuff. Super minimal impact to actual video game performance, especially if you're not playing like a super graphically intensive game. So if you're doing something like League of Legends or Minecraft or something of that nature, you're going to see almost literally no frame rate drop or anything like that. Now, if you're doing something like, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, one of my favorite games, you don't want to mine because, super high resolution graphics and stuff of that nature is going to use a lot more of the memory, which VertHash is very memory intensive. That's why if you look at my overclocking, so if I go back and pull up my overclocking here real quick, just making sure that's still showing up here on the screen, you can see I'm using an 1175 overclock on my memory, and I'm negative 150 underclock on my CPU. So I'm doing that so my CPU is not drawing nearly as much power. So I'm being as optimized in my power usage and the hash rate that I'm getting out there. I'm running my fans at 40% because I want to keep my CPU around or below that 50C mark. And it's not too loud that I can hear it. It allows me to do meeting. I mean, I'm mining. And, this is something that, you might not think. I'm mining on my main computer, my personal computer, all day. So while I'm doing work meetings, as long as I'm not doing encoding on my computer, which even here I'm actually encoding on this machine as opposed to my personal machine, then I'm able to have that running in the background. I'm able to mine Vertcoin, contribute to the network, earn Vertcoin while I'm operating and I'm working here from home all day, every day. It's no impact to any of my meetings, any of my PowerPoint presentations, anything that I'm doing. No impact whatsoever. Let's see. I do not have a VR headset yet. I actually was tempted to get the new, what is it? The HP, what is it? Now I can't remember. It's the 2. It's the second one that HP made. They did it in conjunction with Valve. I forget. Is this an AMA? Yeah, I guess it is. It's turning into an AMA. But I want to get into VR for that. But instead I pulled the trigger and got an outdoor TV for my patio so I can watch the Masters this weekend. So yeah. While in Wasteland 3, it'd be interesting to see how those would handle with Vertcoin running in the background. So WoW's not a huge graphical intensive game because most of that graphic engine is still original to the game from 2004 2005. I know they did an update about 5 years ago, but yeah, I would love to see the feedback on that Quest 2. Is that the Reverb? That's it. The Reverb 2. That's the one that I was looking at because I want the high resolution. If I'm gonna put screens, an inch or less from my face, I want the best quality screens that I can get, because my eyes don't get any worse. So, no, you can't see the Vertcoin lawn just yet. So I did joke on Twitter that I made a bet. It's not a bet. I just made a statement probably 2 years ago or a year ago that I would do a Vertcoin logo in one of my flower beds here at my house if Vertcoin ever got to $10. Hasn't happened yet. But I'm thinking about doing it anyways on good faith, so we'll see. I'll get some drone footage and stuff of that nature. Let's see if there's any other questions that we had here. How can I see one-click miner wallet transactions at Vertcoin? So when you're in the one-click miner, you're actually using is a P2 proxy? I think it's P2 proxy wallet that so you don't actually have a wallet necessarily on your machine like I do with the core wallet where I can see all of my transactions. So here, this is me actually mining using the VertHash miner, mining directly to my core wallet. And then these are the coins that I sent over to my one-click miner to do the Lightning Network testing. So that's in the core wallet. Whoops, hold up. There we go. That's in the core wallet. The one-click miner doesn't have that capability. Now, if you go into the debug for the one-click miner, let's see if we can pull that up here real quick. So if you guys don't know where that is, if you go to your user profile and then go to app data, and then go to the Vertcoin one-click miner, you're not going to see it on my screen. I'm doing it here on my other monitor. But if you pull up a debug file, so this is kind of what that looks like. So you can see here, this is the debug. This is updating pending pool payout. So yeah, that must be why I got that those more coins. But here you can see these are all of the hashing that's happening. So this is happening while I'm sitting here doing this broadcast. So you can get all of that information there. Transactions, you probably would just have to go look on Insight as you go and see those things. So if you go to our Insight, you'll be able to see that. Let's see, anything else here? Is the Vertcoin pool run by the devs? I can't remember. The vertcoinpool.com, is that run by the devs? I can't recall off the top of my head. Yeah, Brandywine, it's tall fescue for my grass. Maybe one of the moderators in here can remind me. I'm drawing a blank. For some reason, I can't recall if we're actually doing that or not. Let's see. Did you cut the Vertcoin logo into your lawn? No, No, I'm not doing it in the yard. That's going to be in the flower beds because it's not going to look good in the yard. And honestly, I don't want to put it in my yard. I love my grass too much. Although I don't want this to be a grass channel. Maybe I can do that on my personal YouTube. I don't know. We'll see. It said that Oro just tried and it failed because I didn't wait 6 hours, but it was going to send 1,600 no problem. Interesting. The 6 hours, so that's if... So the 6 hours is if you send it and it's not received, I think it refunds it back to you. Let me double check in there. Lightning Network, I'm still... Look, you guys, I am definitely not an expert at this. So I'm trying to do this as a lay person, if you will. So let's see here. On Discord is running it. Thank God. All right, cool. Let's see if there's any other questions. Just scrolling back through, see if there's anything I missed. RTX 588 gigabyte GPU, getting about 1.57 Vertcoin a day. Yep. So I think Vertcoin is more profitable than ETH or Raven at the moment. Yeah, I mean, so that's the thing. The big thing with Ethereum is the fact that they're looking to go proof of stake here before long. So there's probably going to be a migration of a lot of that different type of hardware over to other coins. Raven coin is another GPU focused mining coin. But I think we have a pretty proven track record that we're dedicated to GPU miners. We're not leaving that community. We're not giving up on that community ever. If the only way that would ever happen is if just if Nvidia or an AMD were like, yeah, you're not allowed to do mining at all. I'm sure we would figure out some way to make a driver in order to make that happen. But we're dedicated to GPU mining. We're not giving up on that. We haven't given up on it since 2014. That's 7 years of dedicated GPU mining. Let's see. Any other questions? $100. I'm gonna get a helipad. If the HOA would let me, I could do a helipad. I'd love to become a helicopter pilot. So, but all right, cool. Well, it doesn't seem like we have any other questions necessarily about the submarine swap. You guys got to see that live. All the other things that we talked about here today. If you have any other questions or anything like that, please swing into the Discord. You can DM the Vertcoin Twitter. I'll respond to you there. Or we got a Vertcoin Facebook page. We have a Vertcoin Reddit. The Facebook page we're not nearly as active on. It's really just posting things that we're also posting on other social media sites. So really, the two places where we're extremely active. We're going to be active in Reddit to a degree. Twitter to a degree, but Discord is the place to be. That's where we're really active. You can see the links in the description for the Verthash miner, the one-click miner. So the one-click miner, that is the main repo. So JK's repo is an alternative branch to that. So that allows you to play with the submarine swaps. Verton's branch is if you want to mine Dogecoin with a Dogecoin wallet inside of the one-click miner, you can do that as well. But our core wallet's there in the description, and you can see all of our socials there as well. And if you guys didn't see, I wanted to bring this up just because I didn't want people to freak out with kind of what all we had going on for April 1st. But on April 1st, we did have... we put out a tweet about the dev team selling ASICs. April Fools, it was a joke, but I just wanted to address that real quick, just in case if somebody thinks for some reason we are selling ASICs, which that'll never happen. So no WVTC coming as of right yet, but we'll see what happens there. Maybe that's a future talk. But yeah, love to, let's see, trying to do some cool things for Vertcoin PT, but won't disclose yet. Yeah, I mean, so that's something else to keep in mind. Our community does a lot of development, playing and toying around with things. JK just let me know the 6-hour period is for the refund procedure. It waits for the contract to expire. So read me carefully, guys. Read all of that. Read over it a lot. There's a lot of detail and a lot of work that went into that README so that you guys would be able to fully understand exactly what you're doing with the submarine swaps and stuff of that nature. So make sure to read over that. And the Vertcoin pool is run by a good community member, kind of like Hashalot. So Hashalot is ran by Steve. He's a community member as well. So the Vertcoin pool is run by a Vertcoin community member. I don't think any developers right now are running a pool as of yet. So cool. All right. Well, wanted to thank you guys for checking out this episode of Vertcoin Talk. We are what? How long have we been going? Not bad. We're actually, it doesn't tell me how long. I don't know. Since 6:30, so about an hour. All right, cool. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us on this episode of Vertcoin Talk. We will catch you guys in the next one.
What is Vertcoin? Vertcoin is an open source, truly decentralized digital currency that can be sent from peer to peer over the internet. There are no intermediaries, no chargebacks, and most importantly, you control your money. Vertcoin is sent and received from a digital wallet on your mobile phone or PC. When you send Vertcoin, the transaction is published to a distributed public ledger, whereby users are incentivized to verify transactions with their computer processing power in return for a Vertcoin reward. Surprisingly, most transaction verification for leading cryptocurrencies, such as Bitcoin, is not done by its users at all. It is handled almost entirely by large data centers called mining farms. These farms use specialized hardware called ASICs, which are primarily owned and operated by large mining companies and ASIC manufacturers. So why does it matter? ASICs centralize power in the hands of a few, allowing them to manipulate transaction fees, force protocol changes, and block others. Vertcoin foresaw the issues ASICs would bring and pledges to keep its mining algorithm ASIC resistant by hard forking if needed. By allowing users to profitably mine coins on home desktop PCs and laptops, Vertcoin stays true to the original vision of cryptocurrency, a financial system owned and run by its users. Visit vertcoin.org to get started.